Once upon a time, there was a man named Robert, who lived with his wife, Kate, and their only son, John. John was a well-behaved and intelligent boy, and both Robert and Kate loved him dearly. However, John had a habit. He was always in a hurry. Whether it was eating, getting ready for school, or doing his homework, he was always rushing. Kate and Robert often advised John to slow down and take his time. They reminded him that rushing might cause mistakes or accidents. John tried to follow, but he couldn't change. His hurry had become a habit. One morning, John came into the kitchen, dressed for school. Kate was placing breakfast on the table. Toast, butter, boiled eggs, a glass of milk, and teacups.
Mom, please hurry. I'm getting late,
John said eagerly. Robert shook his head and held his cup. Kate scolded softly.
John, it's time now. Calm down.
John grabbed the toast and took a quick bite, then quickly sipped his tea.
Oh no! My tongue's burning!
He yelled. Robert just stared at him while Kate sighed. John quickly rushed toward the door.
Dad! Mom! See you later!
He shouted. Kate looked at the breakfast.
He always does the same,
she sighed. Robert shook his head and spread butter on his toast.
Don't worry,
he said.
He'll grab some sandwiches from the canteen.
Kate nodded, sipping her tea. Soon, vacation started. One night, after dinner, they were all in the lounge. Robert smiled and said,
John, we're going to your grandpa's house. This vacation, you'll get to spend time with Grandma and Grandpa.
John's eyes lit up with excitement.
Really?
Kate smiled.
It's a surprise for you.
Robert added,
Now, pack your things, but don't hurry. We've already booked the train tickets. We're leaving tomorrow evening.
John was thrilled.
I can't wait.
The next morning, John got busy packing. Kate was packing too and reminded him.
Don't forget your toothbrush and other things.
John nodded.
Okay, Mom.
Soon, everything was packed, and by evening, they headed to the station. The train arrived, and they boarded. While they were on the train, Kate handed them sandwiches.
Here, have some,
she said. John took a bite, grinning.
This is so good, Mom. You always make the best sandwiches.
After some time, John started feeling sleepy. He took off his sneakers and settled back in his seat. Soon, he fell asleep. 2 hours later, he woke up and looked around. His eyes immediately went to his sneakers. One was there, but the other was missing.
Where's my sneaker?
John said, panicked.
They're my favorite and very expensive.
Robert and Kate started looking around, but they couldn't find it. John's face fell.
Where could it have gone?
Robert said gently,
Don't worry. We'll buy you a new pair. Just calm down.
Really, Dad?
John asked, looking relieved. Robert smiled.
Of course, my dear.
John picked up the other sneaker and threw it out the window.
Now it's useless.
He said. When they reached the station, John picked up the small breakfast basket that Kate had brought for sandwiches and snacks. As he lifted it, he suddenly glanced inside. His eyes widened.
Oh no!
There lay his missing sneaker in the basket. He quickly pulled it out.
It was in the basket.
Robert sighed, looking at John.
You always rush. You threw out your sneaker. And now you've found it. But it's useless now.
John hung his head and said slowly,
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. I won't do it again. I always create a mess. It's because of my bad habit.
Robert and Kate exchanged a glance. They both smiled softly, knowing that John had learned a valuable lesson. Moral: take your time, think first, and don't rush.